Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing the Mercedes AMG GT 4-door. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Mercedes-Benz of Salt Lake for giving me some time with this car. I'm going to include a link to the website in the description down below, so you can check what they have currently. If you have any questions, just ask for Dylan. Also include a link to my car buying guide in the description down below as well. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a turbocharged 3-liter inline-6 that goes through a 9-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 19 around town and then 24 on the highway, with power outputs being 429 horsepower and then 384 pound-feet of torque. You can also get this in the 63 version that has a twin-turbo 4-liter V, and that basically makes it a 4-door supercar. Now, before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, you guys can see the body lines really pop out with this matte paint, and this blue paint also pops quite a bit. Now, popping down below, really sharp headlight design. I think that's pretty cool with the indicators. And then you got the AMG badge there, Mercedes logo down below, and then just like other AMGs, you've got the vertical grille here. And it's got a very aggressive front end. I mean, look at that. That is pretty crazy looking. But yeah, overall, it looks like a GT from the front end. Now around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 275, 35, 21 in the front, and then 305, 30, 21 in the rear. Now you can see here with the wheels, you've got that really cool silver coloration on it, AMG logo there as well. And then look at the side here. I think that trim's pretty cool. Got the turbo badge on top of that. And then you can see with the mirror caps blacked out, and then you can see with the silver on the door handles. And then taking a few steps back, here's the side profile. And this leads us to the key fob, if it'll focus on it. There we go. We've got our lock and unlock function, AMG logo there at the bottom, and then you've got the opening for the rear. Now, popping into the back of the GT 4-door, unlike the GT, it is pretty dang practical. It's actually a hatchback here in the rear, and so, you know, there's quite a bit of storage space overall. It also has a cargo cover, and then it's automated with the hatch, so it'll just pop right down. And then this is pretty cool here with the badging. And look at the taillight design, just like the GT. So the rest of the badging. And the back end of this, especially with those exhaust tips at the bottom, this really looks like the GT, the 2-door. Now taking a look at the front door panel, you can see with the stitching that goes across there at the top, and then you've got the carbon fiber trim, and then more of that stitching throughout. And then it's got bucket type seats, even in the back here. Look how aggressive those are. But don't worry, it looks like they can fit a car seat. That's all that matters. That's how you convince your wife with this car. Now anyways, popping in's pretty easy. Just kind of slide across. You do have to kind of get around the bolster, but not too bad. Legroom back here, it's decent. It's a little bit tighter. Got some vents here in the rear. We've got some cup holders. And I will say the seats are actually really comfortable. Like the bottom bolsters here, and then the top bolstering really holds you in place. And then the rear passengers do get their own sunroof up top. Now taking a look at the front door panel, you can see again with the stitching throughout. You've got the carbon fiber trim, and then you got your seat adjustments here with the memory seat function. Heated and cooled seats as well. You can also adjust the passenger side just like other Mercedes models. And then look at these front seats, super aggressive. You do have to get around the bolster to get in the seat, but you know, it's the price you pay for sporty seats. You got the pedals down below, light controls, and then you got, again, that kind of like matte finish on the carbon fiber. I think that looks really sharp. And then look at all the nice trim across the dash there. That's pretty cool looking. So taking a look at the steering wheel, we've got Alcantara wrapped around either side, very sporty look. AMG logo there at the bottom. You've got that for the drive mode select. This, depending on what you have selected on the screen, will adjust different items. Kind of a cool AMG steering wheel thing. Bunch of practical controls on the front. It's like for your cruise control, volume controls. You got controls there for the infotainment system. Those are for that center screen. Nice paddle shifters here on the back too. And then you can see the stock there for the turn signal windshield wiper. And then you've got the column shifter with this. So taking a look at the center gauge cluster here, it's very customizable. So for example, I can go to classic view if I want. I don't feel like that fits the character of the GT 4-door here. I feel like Super Sport, I don't know, that kind of fits it a little bit better, but it's cool how customizable it is. And then here's a quick look at the camera system. So 360 camera system. You got a bunch of different viewpoints here with the car, and you can kind of go through those depending on what you want to see angle-wise. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, response time with the screen is solid, but I can also control things with a keypad, and again with the steering wheel as well. So there's kind of redundancies with the controls, which makes it very user-friendly. And I like how there's just 4 vents in the center below it. But yeah, look at that with the kind of connection between the different points. Very tight looking. We actually have analog controls here for the climate controls, which, you know, Mercedes still did it with this generation of infotainment system and everything. And then you got like this storage space right here. And then this is that analog control for the infotainment system. Got shortcut buttons in front of it. And then this is cool with the drive mode select. And you can see the adjustment here for transmission, whether you're automatic or manual, suspension, stability control. Again, just like the regular GT. The spoiler, that's pretty cool with all the controls there. It kind of makes it feel more futuristic. Press that and it'll open up on either side. Nice trim on the top. And then while we're on the topic of storage, here's the glove box. Even like stitching across, that's pretty cool looking. And then we do have a sunroof up top. So here's a quick look at the window sticker for this GT53. You can see the base MSRP. Now this paint color is a $3,200 option. I've got a few other options. Total MSRP $132,655. Let's see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility here in the GT. There's your visibility over the hood. Both the mirrors do a blind spot ring. And throughout the rest of the rear. Let us set off in the GT 4-door. It's a very interesting car. Obviously the 63 version is the most exciting. It's also very expensive. So this kind of gives you the ability to have a more fuel economy conscious and more affordable GT 4-door, which, yeah, like I said, the GT 4-door, it's a really cool looking car. It's one of the few like 4-door cars that when I see driving down the road, it's like you gotta kind of do like a double check. You're like, oh, that's a cool look, or at least that's just me. Maybe. What I'll say right off the bat is these seats very tight with the, like they feel like bucket seats. They're pretty comfortable. They've got good padding on them. They're just tighter. So this is the kind of car where you got to stay in shape to drive it. Pretty nice ride. I mean, it is. I just drove an E-Class before this. This is definitely more aggressive with the suspension and everything compared to that E-Class. So, yeah, interesting. Very interesting. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. By the way, this engine, it's not the big rumbly V8 that's in the 63, but it sounds pretty good. I will say it performs really well. It's got a great punch to it right off the bat. Actually, I'll use this one. This is the fun drive mode select. So, kind of in our more aggressive drive mode setting here. That's quick. It's definitely quick. Yeah, solid. I mean, this is a solid powertrain. I think this tune with the inline 6, I think it's solid. Again, it's not the fire-breathing V8, but still a pretty solid powertrain overall. So to sum things up here with the GT 4-door, it's in the name, right? You basically have the GT looks, but in a 4-door car. So yeah, I think it looks great. I think it drives well. It is definitely sportier. So like if you want, I guess, somewhat similar straight line performance to this, you get an E-Class. So like similar size car, somewhat similar size car, similar straight line performance, you go for, I would say you go for an E-Class. But if you are wanting something that's a little bit sportier, looks cooler, then that's where this GT comes in. So let me know your thoughts.